Pluto is a far-off and strange Bantam planet, which was once an individual from our nearby planet group's planetary family. Anyway, ongoing surprising declarations by driving astrophysicists Neil deGrasse Tyson and Mio Kaku have carried Pluto back into the spotlight with a stunning disclosure. They recommend that this cold world is on a potential crash course with Neptune. Yet how is it that this could work out, and what might be the results of such a gigantic occasion? Are we seeing an uncommon galactic peculiarity, or is there something else to this looming enormous crash? Go along with us as we investigate the potential outcomes of a Pluto-Neptune influence. Pluto, a previous planet that was downgraded to a Bantam planet partly because of its curious circle, remains a subject of interest and concentrate in the cosmic local area. As per ongoing forecasts by driving researchers, Pluto's direction is hazardously near Neptune's. Driving astrophysicists Neil deGrasse Tyson and Mio Kaku are both raising the warning of a potential dangerous impact between these two planets that could be an immense danger to Earth. How is such an occasion even conceivable? Pluto's excursion around the Sun is not normal for some other planet in our planetary group. It requires a stunning 248 years to finish a solitary circle, meaning since its discovery in 1930, it hasn't even completed one full upheaval yet. The interest doesn't stop there. Pluto's way is set apart by its exceptionally curved shape, digressing significantly from the close to roundabout circles of the significant planets. What makes Pluto's circle considerably more unconventional is its tendency, angled at 17 degrees to the ecliptic plane. The way Pluto follows is much more extreme contrasted with different planets. One of the most charming parts of Pluto's circle is its convergence with Neptune's way. For around 20 years in each circle, Pluto truly draws nearer to the Sun than Neptune, defying what we could anticipate from their situations in the nearby planet group. This prompts the regular inquiry: why hasn't Pluto crashed into Neptune? The response lies in the gravitational impacts of different planets. The investigation of Pluto's circle started not long after its discovery. At first, stargazers attempted to comprehend its novel direction. Dissimilar to different planets whose circles lie generally near the ecliptic plane, Pluto's way stood apart with its lofty tendency and circular shape. The secret developed with the acknowledgement that Pluto's circle truly crosses Neptune's. The security of Pluto's circle in the midst of these intricacies is proof of the intricacies of room mechanics. The three-body issue in space is tied in with sorting out how three things in space like Pluto, Neptune, and the Sun move and influence each other with their gravity. It's like attempting to foresee where they will go in view of where they start and how they pull on one another. For Pluto's situation, this issue shows how its way, Neptune's way, and the Sun's gravity all work together in a mind-boggling manner. The terms azimuthal libration and scope libration, alongside the VZK swaying, are important for this riddle. As per astrophysicists, what's keeping all planets in their circles is an azimuthal libration. With regards to Pluto and Neptune, this term implies that whenever Pluto crosses Neptune's circle, it's situated no less than 90 degrees away from Neptune. This spatial division is vital in keeping their ways from impacting. Scope libration, then again, alludes to the upward development of a divine body in its circle. For Pluto, this implies that when it comes nearest to Neptune or some other monster planet, it's arranged fundamentally over their orbital plane, giving an extra layer of security from potential impacts. One more critical part in this situation is the VZK wavering. This is named after three researchers, Bond, Zippel, and F, who concentrated on how things move in space. It's about how three space objects like Pluto, Neptune, and the Sun pull on one another with their gravity. This pulling influences how they move. For Pluto's situation, VZK assists us with understanding the reason why its way around the Sun is so surprising. Despite the fact that Pluto's way appears to be out of control, this wavering aids keep it moving flawlessly. Understanding its circle is truly significant. This gives us a more clear image of the planetary group's dynamic nature. The situation of Pluto shows the way that even the most apparently temperamental circles can accomplish a condition of balance through the complicated exchange of gravitational powers and orbital mechanics. It additionally shows the significance of consistent perception and investigation of these peculiarities to get a handle on our spot in the universe better. Investigating the profundities of room frequently drives us to defy the eccentric idea of heavenly bodies, and Pluto's circle is a great representation of this unusualness. The idea of orbital disorder, which alludes to the delicate reliance of a divine body's way on its underlying circumstances, is distinctively shown on account of Pluto. This implies that even slight varieties in the Bantam planet situation or speed can fundamentally change its drawn-out circle. Utilizing virtual experiences has been really useful for researchers to sort out how Pluto moves in space. These recreations utilize interesting math to mirror how Pluto and other space face things like Neptune pull on one another. By changing little subtleties in the reenactments, cosmologists can perceive how even little changes can have a major effect. In the last part of the 1980s, these reproductions showed something truly intriguing about Pluto's way. Despite the fact that it has things like azimuthal and scope libration to keep it consistent, its circle can, in any case, be wild and capricious. If you get going with only a small distinction in where Pluto is or the way in which quick it's moving over numerous years, its way can wind up looking truly changed. Yet, even with this disarray, Pluto's circle remains stable for quite a long time, like billions of years. This implies Pluto's excursion around the Sun has a sort of request to it, despite the fact that it appears to be out of control at first. Predicting enormous occasions, particularly when it involves turbulent circles like Pluto's, poses huge difficulties. The inherent unconventionality of these frameworks implies that drawn-out estimates are frequently full of uncertainties. While mathematical reenactments give a strong means to comprehend and expect the future ways of divine bodies, they additionally highlight the restrictions in our prescient capacities. These models depend vigorously on the exactness of starting circumstances and the intricacy of the collaborations they simulate. Any slight blunder or distortion can prompt boundlessly various results, making exact forecasts a daunting task. Besides, the tumultuous idea of divine circles like Pluto helps us to remember the consistently developing and dynamic nature of the universe. While we have taken significant steps in understanding space, the instance of Pluto reminds us how our insight about the universe actually stays restricted. Understanding the gravitational impacts of the Goliath planets on Pluto's circle gives important experiences into the more extensive elements of the planetary group. It demonstrates the way that the presence and position of every planet can have sweeping impacts, influencing the security and direction of different bodies inside the framework. Why are significant astrophysicists just now raising worries about a potential crash among Pluto and Neptune? In spite of this multitude of complicated powers attempting to hold such an occasion back from happening, Neil deGrasse Tyson, an unmistakable astrophysicist and a crucial figure in promoting cosmology, gives an exceptional viewpoint on the mysteries of our planetary group, particularly the charming instance of Pluto. Tyson, known for his job in the renaming of Pluto from a planet to a Bantam planet, offers sagacious editorial on the advancing idea of heavenly mechanics and the public's interest with the obscure domains of room. Tyson's position on Pluto's renaming is established in the always extending information on our nearby planet group. He sees the renaming as not a downgrade but rather a fundamental transformation to our developing comprehension of the many bodies circling our Sun. Tyson's way to deal with divine mechanics is one of ceaseless learning and adaptation. He sees the intricacies of circles, for example, Pluto, as an indication of how much there is still to find in space. The interest of these questions, particularly the possible connections among Pluto and Neptune, features the dynamic and erratic nature of our nearby planet group. His work stresses that the more we reveal about space, the more inquiries emerge, pushing us to explore further and refine how we might interpret the universe. Mio Kaku, another eminent physicist and futurist, offers an alternate yet free viewpoint on the secrets of room, zeroing in on the frequently flighty powers that shape our universe. Kaku is known for his capacity to connect complex logical ideas with cutting-edge dreams, making him a critical voice in conversations about divine mechanics and the more extensive ramifications for humanity. Kaku's perspectives on Pluto and its circle underline the requirement for non-stop perception and high-level displaying to expect and comprehend potential grandiose occasions. He sees the cooperations between divine bodies as an essential area of review for scholarly interest as well as for reasonable ramifications. The potential impact among Pluto and Neptune, for example, isn't simply a hypothetical situation but an indication of the dynamic and frequently tumultuous nature of room. Kaku's futurist standpoint pushes us to consider the more extensive ramifications of such occasions, from the effect on how we might interpret the planetary group to the possible requirement for future space interventions. Kaku's point of view highlights the import of being ready for the startling in space. His work recommends that the more we comprehend the powers at play, the better prepared we will be to explore and possibly mitigate the impacts of enormous occasions. Tyson's viewpoint on Pluto's renaming and Kaku's accentuation on the eccentric idea of heavenly mechanics both highlight the requirement for ceaseless investigation and an adaptable comprehension of our universe. The potential crash situation, while featuring the dynamic and complex communications within our nearby planet group, ultimately helps us to remember the vast, still unknown areas and how we might interpret space. Through ongoing exploration and perception, we endeavor to unwind these mysteries, ensuring that our insight remains up with the ever-evolving universe.